Welcome to Riding with My Friends, episode 1. This is something I've been thinking about doing for a long time now, which is a series of videos that in essence are going to be basically me waffling on, but talking a lot about daily struggles, mental health, depression, anxiety, you know, that sort of thing. And it's not going to be in any way, it's not therapy, because I'm not a therapist. It's not going to be trying to fix anyone. It's literally just going to be me offloading. And hopefully there'll be some people out there that might resonate with it. They might listen to it. It might help, you know, it might make people think, oh yeah, you know, I can resonate with that, I get that. So very quickly then, a little bit about myself. So my name's Dan, and in 2022 I started my many trips in and out of therapy, where I was diagnosed with severe depression, severe anxiety and abandonment disorder. Since the diagnosis, since the first sessions in 2022, I've been in and out of therapy now probably 5 times, and I'm very fortunate that the company that I work for, my employer, has its own occupational health department. So I have access to therapy, I have access to, you know, a large suite of talking therapy psychologists and various occupational health teams that can help me when times get tough. And I think that's hugely important, especially if you're on a journey like this. There are many people out there that are struggling every day. They don't know why they're undiagnosed, or they just don't have the help available, or the help that is available is very limited, and you know, they don't know which way to turn. So I am very fortunate in that way. My journey kind of started, or as I've discovered now anyway, it started when I was very young, and it was my upbringing. I had your sort of, not stereotypical upbringing, but you know, my parents did what they could to work, not realising that they were pushing me to the side, and that had a negative effect on me. It gave me a very bad view on what relationships should be like. I felt like an outcast, I felt like I wasn't valued, etc, etc, and I carried that with me my whole life. When I was at school, I was picked on and bullied because I was, you know, different to everybody else. I guess we're all different in a way though, aren't we? But mine was enough to draw the wrong kind of attention. So I was heavily picked on and bullied. So I started developing techniques to blend in or to disarm people, things like using comedy to disarm people, because my theory being, well, if I make them laugh they won't hate me, they won't beat me up. That cock on the road there. Oh, there you go, using comedy. So I've already gone off on a bit of a tangent there. I should bring it back a bit. I'll bring it back. So the series that I'm going to hopefully create, and we'll leave it running for a bit, see if anybody likes it. You know, if I get good take up, get good views and so on, then I'll keep running with it. Oh good, indicate at the last possible second, mate. Yeah, we'll kind of run with it. But yeah, so I've decided to call it Riding with My Friends. Seems like a bit of an odd choice, but let me explain. So the friends in this context, and some of you probably already got this, I'm insulting your intelligence here, but the friends I refer to are depression, anxiety and abandonment, or, you know, relationship disorders, whatever they manifest themselves as. Because although yes, they are a massive part of a hugely dark and negative side of my life, they are also something that I've come to now understand and use them as a way to be better. Not cured, not, you know, anything like that, but you know what I mean. So by understanding them and figuring out what they're doing, why they're doing it, is making me a better person. And in my view, certainly that's what a friend is, isn't it? That's what friends do. They make you a better person. You know, they'll call you out when things are bad, when you're being a complete cock. They will call you out and say, "Oi, you're being a cock." That's what mates do. It's what friends do. So that's why I've entitled the series "Riding with My Friends," because although they have provided me with years and years of just terrible, bad, dark places, they're also the things that have now given me the ability, through talk therapy, given me the ability to understand them a bit more and to think, actually, these are things that I've developed from my past. So these are things that I have a level of control over, that I can actually take a stop, a pause and say, I see what you're doing there. And they're calling me out when I'm being a cock. It might not make sense, and I'm sure there's people out there that will now sit there and just go, "No, mate, that's wrong. They're not the ones calling you a cock. You're being a cock, etc., etc." I get it. It's me, and I'm talking about them like a schizophrenic. But I think to me, I understand it. It helps me make sense of it. If I can picture something, I can process it much, much better than if somebody was to sit down and just describe it to me. You know, I need analogies, I need to have, you know, visual representations of what I'm talking about. It helps me process things. So riding with my friends just gives me that almost third person view of what I'm talking about. So getting back to my journey then, back on track now, nice one. 2022 then, I think it was around July, it was actually this very bike here that kind of started my journey going. And it was one of the scariest moments of my life, and I've had, like, you know, motorcycle accidents that I've been airlifted to hospital. I've seen my firstborn child pass away, and all of those were truly terrifying things. Certainly the loss of my firstborn son was absolutely horrendous. It was hideous, and obviously it played a part in all of this. But quite simply, these mirrors I've got here, they're Rizomo mirrors that I bought after this event. So not long after I first bought this, where I keep it, I have to go through a garden gate, and I was wheeling it out one day and it caught the left mirror, and the mirror snapped instantly, because the standard mirrors on these they're brittle, really brittle, and the mirror snapped. I got disappointed. Obviously I went to my local Ducati dealership, £160 per mirror. Couldn't believe it. So I bought it, fitted the new mirror. Exactly 2 weeks later I did the same thing again. At that point I put the bike back, put it on its stand, connected it back up to the optimizer. I quietly walked into the house, took my kit off, took my leathers and everything off, and I sat down in my pants on the sofa, and I just had a breakdown. And I don't think it was necessarily caused by the mirror, but I think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And what happened then was it's hard to explain. It was a lovely summer's morning. My wife and kids were away at the time, so I was home alone. But yeah, lovely summer's morning. It was a day like today. It was glorious, absolutely glorious. But in my head, dark clouds came over, and the day suddenly went black as black. Hundreds of voices suddenly started shouting at me. like screaming, "You're not good enough, that's your own fault, you don't deserve a bike like that anyway, it's because you're a failure," etc, etc. And I couldn't silence these voices. These voices had always existed in my head, but I'd always managed to shut them up by doing whatever, distracting myself, whatever. I always managed to shut them up, but this time I couldn't. I was powerless. 3 hours I sat there on the sofa with these voices screaming at me, and I could do nothing about it, absolutely nothing. That was the moment I realised that I was not okay. That was the moment that I thought, everything's now built up. Something's caught hold of me. I've been left alone too long now with my own brain, and it's letting me have it. After 3 hours I became cold, so I went and got into bed, and I lay there again. I'd messaged my manager at the time to say, "Well, in case you haven't noticed, I'm not going to be in today, not feeling great." Went and laid in bed. After about 5 hours of all of this, the clouds slowly disappeared, and it was weird because, like I say, lovely clear day, but the black clouds were real. I could physically see them. It was horrifying. The voices then started to slow down and I could actually function again, so I managed to get up, get a drink, message my manager to say something's really bad, you know, can you please get hold of occupational health. And that's how it started, July of 2022. From that point on I went into therapy, and that's where they diagnosed me to say, yes, you've got severe depression, you've got severe anxiety, and you've got an abandonment disorder by fear of relationships. Since 2022 I've been in and out of therapy now, a mixture of CBT and talk therapy with psychologists, up until, so today is the 2nd of April 2026. A week ago I finished my last session of talk therapy, and this time round it really hit home. It's really made a difference. I feel different. I've got a much more clear mindset now, a much more active mindset, but by no means perfect. Absolutely not. For example, tonight I'm supposed to be going out for a curry with a load of friends. I haven't seen this group of friends in years because I saw them as a problem. Through my mental health issues, I saw them as a problem. They were the issue. They didn't understand me. It's all their fault. And tonight I'm going out for a curry with them. And I'm absolutely crapping myself. Absolutely crapping myself. So the anxiety has not gone away. The depression hasn't gone away. You know, it's real. It stays there. If anybody ever says, "Oh, I've had talk therapy, I'm cured," it's not the case. It's hard work. And kudos to anybody going through this journey. Kudos to anybody who has actually stood up and said, "No, I'm not going through this. I need help. I want to get through this. I want to work on this." It is a horrible journey. It is not easy. I apologise for the constant sniffing that I'm just coming out of. So I get early onset hay fever. It's the grass and tree pollen that gets me. So end of March, early April, I normally get all bunged up. I've gone through that phase, but I'm now at the stage where I can breathe, but you know, my nose is still a bit drippy. So apologies for the constant sniffing. In fact, excuse me, I'm going in. Nice. Excellent. Did some of my first ever videos back there, you know. This particular road we're on now, this was like the test bed, this was, when I first started recording, which incidentally was a year ago now. Oh my god, that's a big cock. thing I absolutely love about having these things, bikes, and I think there's so many people out there that are the same as well. You buy a motorcycle, and I don't know how the journey starts really with everyone, but for some reason we always manage to, we found a way on a bike to kind of escape, you know, to disappear from the world. Oh, there's another one up ahead, look. So whatever reason it was that you got a bike in the first place, you will appreciate. Oh, it's a little monkey bike, look at that, that's fantastic. That bloke there, he's a prime example, absolutely loving it. But whatever reason it was that you got a bike in the first place, you have accidentally almost stumbled upon the perfect escapism. Because the feeling that you get back from a bike, any bike, that monkey bike back there, something like this, a Harley Davidson, it doesn't really matter. But the feelings that you get are just great anyway. But the escapism that comes with it, unless you're one of these that rides around with your Bluetooth thing in all the time, listening to music, I think you're missing a trick there. Put a set of earplugs in, turn all the comms off, and just let your mind wander. Think about some stuff, look at the scenery, you know, be in the here and now. Don't be listening to Britney Spears or whatever, you know, when you're riding around. But we've accidentally stumbled upon therapy, because that's what it is. It's like a therapy. Right now it's a gorgeous day, we're mincing around. I've got to stop saying mincing around as well, because I get in trouble for that. But it's an absolutely glorious day. We're on some lovely roads, enjoying a fantastic bike, talking to you guys, stuck behind a big highway maintenance van. But it's therapy, it's lovely, and I think it's important. You need, as a person, I don't care who you are or what you do, whether you're the CEO of a massive organisation, whether you're currently in between jobs, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is you're doing with your time, you need to make time for you, for something that you enjoy, for something that gives you something back. It doesn't matter what it is, and it certainly doesn't matter what other people think about it, whether it's riding horses, bicycle, whatever it is. Go climb a mountain, but find something that gives you something back, something that when you finish you think, oh yeah, I needed that. But just do it, just let yourself do it. Put the phone down. Everybody's on their phones nowadays. There's so much information that is bombarding the human brain now, because the second you pick up your phone you will learn exactly what the whole planet's getting up to within 30 seconds. It's too much. It is far too much. I get the irony as well that I'm talking about that whilst I'm recording this to put it on something that you're probably watching on your phone. I get the irony, but hopefully you can take a little something from it and just go, actually, yeah, the dude's right, I'm going to put my phone down, go for a walk. It's lambing season at the moment, so little lammies everywhere. Go and pick one up and cuddle it. Get your bike out, get your bike and brew passport, go and get yourself a stamp somewhere. Have a cup of tea, even if it's on your own. Put your feet up, get a cup of tea next to you, get a stamp on your passport. Job done. Chill out. I won't go into too much detail, but my wife recently went to the NHS because she realised that, like me, she was having difficulties and she needed help with it. She went for her first visit, so her first talk therapy session in the NHS. And then, please don't think I'm doing the NHS a disservice here. I'm really, really not. They do some amazing things. I know they're understaffed, they're underfunded, they're doing the best they can. But she desperately needed help. And the NHS said, sorry, we can't help. Because of what she was showing, because of the symptoms that she had. It's basically, it's ADHD, as simple as that. It's ADHD, it's nothing, there's no suicidal thoughts or anything like that. But the simple fact that the NHS couldn't take the case, couldn't do anything. How many people are in that state at the moment? And again, I'm not having to go at the NHS, they do their best. but for her to get the support she needs to get herself into a better position of understanding, because that's what it's all about. For me, that is what it's all about. Understanding. You need to understand, where has this come from? Why do you think like this? Why do you behave like this? And the second element is, okay, what can I do about it? What tools can I employ to help me? And by helping you, it could help others around you. But the NHS told her that, I'm sorry, based on what you've told us, there's not a lot we can do. So they give her a load of links to things that she can do, places that she can go to. Sorry, not things that she can do, but places she can go to. And she's got to pay privately. We can't afford to pay privately, is the reality, not the sort of money they're talking about. So she's now recently diagnosed ADHD. If you want to follow her story, by the way, she's on Tory ADHD on Instagram. I'll tag her in it, put a link in. Amazing woman, but she can't be helped. My point being, how many more people are like that? How many more people are out there that need the support, need the help, and they can't get it? There are places that you can go to get levels of help, and I strongly recommend you look into it. I'll try and get some links and stick them down below. There is a motorcycle specific one called Permission to Talk. That's run by Chris Eads or Baron von Grumble, who I watch intently because that man is amazing. He's the epitome of what I'm talking about, really. And again, I'll tag it all in there so you can have a look. But needless to say, we'll leave that now for episode 1. If you've been watching all the way through and I've still got your attention, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Episode 2 will come out. I'm going to try and do these weekly. They won't necessarily all be in this format. This one was more about talking around, what I'm intending to do and how I'm kind of going to do it. Whereas, future episodes will probably just be me chuntering on. I may have had something happen and how I dealt with it, how it made me feel. We'll just talk about that kind of stuff. But for now, thanks all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you on the next one. And more importantly, I really sincerely hope you found something interesting or something comforting about this. Cheers, guys.